in LA, and I can't even do the shit I need to do. You know, I got to go to ADD, still build up a whole brand. You know, the ADD was built off my back. I had to blow that up. Then on top of that, go to all these different meetings, go to these auditions, get 2-3 scripts in a day, and then still do YouTube. Something got to give, you know, because I'm not happy right now.
What was your relationship with Russell Simmons? Because I'm going to tell you mine, which was when he first started ADD, he approached me. Because that's when I was still kind of doing YouTube. I think I was kind of easing out of YouTube, but I might have had some videos that was kind of bubbling. And I had a meeting with their company. Hey, look at that. Look at that. I told you, man, I'm around here being professional around here. So he wanted me to, that's the very beginning of ADD. Like you just said, you helped build that brand up. That was the very beginning of ADD. He wanted my content, but they were saying that they were going to own my content. And I'm thinking, well, why would I let y'all, I'm thinking I'm already doing good on YouTube. Like, why would I let y'all own my content when I already own my content and I'm doing well for myself? So that's why I never went over to ADD, and that's why and shout out to ADD. I mean, it's a phenomenal platform now. I know most of the comedians that's over there that's doing it now. But so that's why y'all haven't seen Justin Hart. And I'll go over there now and do stuff, but I wasn't going to bring my original ideas, let them have ownership over it. So what was your relationship with Russell Simmons, how that came about, and you know, all of that stuff?
You mean like personal relationship, business relationship?
Yeah, like how did y'all meet? How did you start working with AD?
The first day I met Russell, I was leaving a dinner or a meeting with my manager, former manager, Steve Rifkin, and he was like, hey, you want to meet Russell today? Nigga, I'm black. Of course I want to meet Russell Simmons today, nigga, of course. He took me over there, saw his shiny gold bald head around the corner, and the first thing he said to me, first word, hey, little nigga, how you doing? You're a gifted little nigga. I work for you now. Whoa, back up. What you mean you work for me now? Like, what is all this shit going? What is going on, Steve? Like, it was everything was literally thrown in my face. So that's how I met him. He was, hey, little nigga, how you doing? I work for you now. I work for you. I'm like, what the F are you talking about? But I guess.
What do you think he meant by that?
I think that was one of his little manipulating boss tactics that he used over the years to try to draw me in, to make me feel comfortable off rip.
Got you.
You know, I'm not saying anything about bosses. I mean, they all have their techniques of what they do to try to ink a deal or whatever. But I think that was just a format he took to try to make me feel comfortable and ease my defense.
So when y'all started making video, and first of all, this is my own personal thing, which is I feel like there's a difference between a boss and a leader.
Yeah.
And me personally, even when I'm working with people, I never use the word boss. That's me. I'm saying I'll try to be a great leader for what we're trying to accomplish. Because I kind of feel like sometimes that word has a negative connotation behind it. Almost like superior or I'm above you. And I feel like everyone plays a part in the ecosystem when it comes to achieving success. But that's just my own, that was just a thought that I just want to throw out for anybody that's watching this, you know, just to let y'all know my mindset. How did you all start actually working? How did you all actually start making videos together for ADD? Like, what was that conversation like? And what was like the first video that you all did to start really starting up the ADD brand?
Well, the first video we ever did was called The Record Deal. I wanted to hurry up and do a skit with him because I didn't know how long he was going to be in town. And he moved to LA because of me.
I didn't know that.
All the major bosses moved to LA because of me.
Right.
Steve Rifkin moved to LA. Russell Simmons moved to LA. Andre Harrell, the late Andre Harrell, who just passed, moved to LA.
You said for you, like there was like because JB out there.
They were doing it because they were trying to get ADD off the ground, and I didn't know that was what they were trying to do at the time.
Oh.
So that's how that happened. I didn't know that's what they were trying to do.
So I'm gonna say it for you. Because you probably ain't gonna want to say it. Basically, they knew you were popping on YouTube. They trying to get this platform off. They like, we need a LeBron, that's gonna help us take this to the next level. So let's get smoking, up or whatever, stroke the ego, whatever we need to do, to get him to help us build this brand, whether he know it or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
that's what happened. And that's pretty much how it all came about. Like I said, my first video, I did a video called The Record Deal because I wanted to hurry up and put it on my channel. And then after that little screenshot he just put up, that was the first official ADD launch video ever. That was, I was paid for that, whatever, but I wasn't even signed to ADD then. That was like the welcome to ADD video, period. So, we didn't have no conversations about that. That was when the coordinators and everybody were hitting me up. So I'm like, all right. My manager, Steve, was sending me forwarded messages from people saying, hey, we want to do this, pay you this for that. Russell wants this for 80. I'm like, all right, it's just a little contracted gig, a little small contracted gig.
How was the pay? Was it decent?
Man, them little $500 shits, $1,000 shits, man, whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? And also too, I want everybody to use me as an example for real, because there's a lot of stories of people talking about how they don't get paid, how they got screwed over. Look, everybody gonna screw you over, especially if you don't demand and sit on what you want. You gotta be able to, when you make a demand, you gotta act like, motherfucker, I'm a dip on your ass, and there's no way of contacting me. I'll change my number on you if I got to. You gotta be on that type of energy. If you ain't on that, then you're gonna get screwed over. But,
I want everybody to know what he's saying is absolutely correct. In case anybody out there is thinking, he don't know what he's talking about, and you better take that money. When you're in the art of negotiating and deal making, when you know your value, you got to be on that, because if you don't, they just go continue to underpay you, undervalue you, and it just is what it is,
And you can get yourself in a hole so deep that half the industry know what your prices are now, because they all having lunch with each other, having meetings with each other, talking about, I got spoken for 2,000, I got spoken for 5. Damn, that little nigga worth a meal. Well, motherfucker, he charged me 5. See if you can jerk him around and get 2 out of him. You know what I'm saying? And they'll go through email after email and you do the art of negotiation, which make you feel like this is that. And the reason why, I'm gonna tell you why I did it that way. The reason why I was taking them little pays, because I'm like, all right, well, I already got money, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't really tripping, but I'm like, okay. The only reason why I was taking that lesser money was because there was no example before me to show me that, with YouTube networks, that they were paying out this type of money. I was thinking that, okay, Russell and them, they just came from music. They don't know shit about the internet as well. They didn't know shit about it. Trust me, they didn't know shit about it. So I'm thinking this is all new. Now, this had been the NFL. This had been the music industry. This had been acting. I would have got the money what I would have requested, but their whole thing was, oh, this is new. So I'm like, it's fucking with your head when you're the first one, and you're the guinea pig experiment, but then you like, but I gotta set an example for the world. So I felt like I really wasn't doing it for just me. I was really trying to pave a way so everybody could eat. For real. That's the only reason why I went through an ADD. I knew I was getting underpaid and everything, but I'm like, well, this is gonna pay out for everything what I always wanted to do, which was basically I wanted to see people break the 9-to-5 system, break the system, whatever you got running, and be okay with putting your work out there. Because when we first started doing our thing, people were very reluctant with putting their stuff out there. People were scared to even hear their own voice on the phone. Like, I don't like the sound of my voice on the camera. Now, people don't got all that training on playing with their phone so much. Now they can just throw themselves out there. But back in the day, they had to sit there and watch an example. And I knew I was the biggest example to show. So I felt like I had no choice. For the culture, I had no choice. But for myself, I had every choice.
Absolutely. Yeah. Is it true? Was Russell Simmons actually managing you? Was he technically your manager at one point? Because I know that was what I was hearing in the comedy streets at one point.
Not on paper, but yeah, not on paper. He was nothing really, nothing on a business level to me, except a manager. So he never negotiated my stuff like that. But all of them was my manager, to be real. I never made anybody anything else. I made Steve my manager. I don't think he ever managed anybody before. He's the whole executive out here. SIC Records, Asheroff, Melanie Fiona, Big Pun, Mob Deep, you know what I'm saying, Wu-Tang. He never managed anybody. I didn't want him to be my executive. I didn't want him to do none of that. Nigga, just manage me. Because I need to be able to track and because I already know I'm gonna get off here. So at least I need to keep you over here while you're doing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And what's y'all relationship now? Like you and Russell, like y'all.
I don't talk to nobody.
You don't talk to none of them no more?
I don't talk to nobody.
What was the straw that broke the camel's back then with that relationship?
You say what broke it?
Yeah, like what made you?
It was no bad relationship. It was no bad relationship. I think if anything, they just couldn't get me to do nothing. The only thing they could get me to do was just do Dr. Reasons and that's it. That's the only thing you see on ADD, Dr. Reasons and maybe a few other skits.
Why was that? You didn't like the sketches or you felt like they was using you?
Of course they were using me. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't, that was the first thing I did in my life that I never wrote.
Okay.
I've never touched any bit of writing on that thing. So that was also too something new for me. I'm like, damn, I'm in an element where I like to control my shit. I like to write and direct and sit behind the scenes and edit. I'm that person. So if I'm doing too much, I might be too much for Hollywood right now or whatever they're trying to shake out of me. But I just, it was cool. I'm not gonna issue on it because it did its thing. It got its number. People love it. Thank God. But at the end of the day, I didn't feel like me at all. So when I didn't want to, when I did want to do, I think the 4th season or the 3rd season, I think I did 3 or 4. I offered to try to turn into a short film. I put my writing behind. I had my own writers, and they said no. I'm like, well, it's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna just go ahead and part our way because my contract by the end.
Damn. Did they say why they said no?
Well, one at the time they wasn't putting no high quality stuff on ADD, and they still ain't putting no high quality stuff. A lot of these networks ain't putting no high quality stuff. They were just using people trying to spend as least money they could spend to get the highest dollars out of you. So yeah, they would spend $2,000 for a skit or $500, whatever they could do to spend the cheapest they could spend and not give you the A1 production. Now think about it. Now I'm dropping whole short films out here, relationship game series, all kind of shit. I'm dropping damn near like movie shits. You know, I'm taking them to Lionsgate. They saying no. I'm like, now come on now. I know this shit can go if it get in the right hands. And this is why I try to take my own approach. But ADD's whole thing was, we're not gonna fund nobody nothing big. And if we do fund something big, y'all gonna get a small payout. They never funded anything big to make nothing look like a legit TV show or a legit movie. They had their little shows here and there, but it looked like it was shot on a 60D camera.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They never pulled out no red cam. I pull out red cams on mine. I had got a $40,000 check from Fox, and them niggas told me, look, we understand that you're great, that you're a big commodity when it comes to this movie. We want to give you 40 grand to do and produce whatever skits you want to produce. And you can go back and look at my skits. A lot of them skits had high quality stuff. When I was with bruh, man, I was in the movie theater getting thrown off the roof, electrocuted in my room. I called my own crew with 40 grand and said, look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to shoot 3 to such and such skit because Fox want this all done. Fox gave me creative control, made me do what I do. How the hell people who I'm managed by, people who I'm a brand ambassador by, I'm the first one to help build this whole platform, and I can't get a budget out of y'all? That's crazy to me, bro. Get out my face. I ain't got time for it. And everybody was trying to play them games. Everybody was trying to run this whole YouTube network game. All these different rappers and executives were talking about, I got a network. Now, where they at now? Everybody started figuring it out. When I left, everybody was like, wait a minute, there's some smoke in the room, because Spoken is I know he don't usually act like this, but everybody know I go Draco moment. When I go Draco mode, there's something in the air that ain't right.
Right.
And I was basically calling out. I knew people wasn't gonna get it at the time, because at the time that was like, well, who you supposed to be, you house nigga? You supposed to be with Russell. You supposed to be doing the do.
Now don't you go out there trying to be independent.
I'm like, hold on, bro. Y'all don't get it. So at that time, it was almost like how dare you go against the Russell Simmons? You can't say that now.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm not just saying that specifically for him. I'm saying that because everybody card done got pulled. Everybody done got the curtain pulled back on them and got exposed on what they really been doing and what the intentions were with all these content creators. All these content creators were getting fucked. And I would say the last 2 or 3 years was when they really started getting money. When they really started getting money, they were getting buying money and all that stuff then. But I felt like everybody started catching on like about 2 or 3 years ago. And they like, you know what? I don't want to sign up for that. But why you think these networks can't get these major people no more? because these major people coming with they bids, and they like, look, if you can't give me a meal, if you can't give me this, I'm not doing it. At that time, I was just trying to make an example just to open the door. So I got caught up in between that, and people like, oh man, I don't even know what's happening with Cole. I done gave up. We're not gonna know a lot of stuff behind the scenes. That's why we're gonna let life play out.
You know what? I was